What's up, everybody? How's it going? And welcome back to another trade recap where today I made $1,876. And I don't know whether I am going to make a thing if I just show all of my accounts at this point and then I just put combined P&L, if I should do P&L of one account. But for this video, anyways, it's just the P&L of one account. I just don't know how much yet I want to be showing about my income. But anyways, let's get straight into the charts. So over here, I was using the Alpha Trader platform today. This was the two trades that I took. I took one loss and I took a win. So up here you can see the P&L, 1,876. But let's get into the actual recap. So what did we have today? I saw that we had a higher time frame SMT with ES. Look at this external high, and then we go down to ES. The external high is all the way up there, nowhere near being touched at the moment. However, as market open, I saw that we manipulated up higher and basically took out all of these highs. So I saw this as a lovely liquidity sweep. And then what did we get? I saw that the market rushed all the way down and we ended up going into this 15-minute gap right there. At this point, I thought that we were honestly just going to keep selling off all the way down to this 4-hour gap. So I took my first discretionary short over here, went down to the lows. However, my stop loss placement wasn't the world's best and I ended up getting tapped out. But even though we've come into this 15-minute gap and had a rejection higher, I still remained bearish. Why? Because we still had the higher time frame SMT in play. I still haven't fully seen my bearish confluences get disrespected, because the reason why I had my stop up here in the first place is because I saw that we had this gap that we can possibly respect, and I saw that we had this gap. Because this was smaller, I did have a feeling that we could just wick straight through, but if that happened, I would just re-enter. And that's exactly what I did. I got wicked out and then I entered again, seeing that we went higher than the gap and we were coming back into it, hoping that we wouldn't close above. But anyways, that was my entry. We ended up getting a lovely, beautiful rejection down where I could put my trade break even at this low. I couldn't go break even at the 15-minute gap just because as I entered, you can see we've had our move down, our next move down, but then there's this 1-minute gap. This could have been something to just make price at least spike a little bit higher. I was thinking it could even come into this range, which it did. Lovely rejection wick entry if anybody wanted to take that. And so then, yeah, I didn't want it to tap the 15-minute gap, tap me out, when the trade I did isn't completely invalid. But anyways, we end up getting the sell off. I go break even, and then we're just sitting inside of some chop for a couple minutes. I say a couple, this was like a good 10 minutes. To then eventually, finally get hit TP. I did get edged twice. Over here, we can very much see 7 points, and then this was like 4 points, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, 5 points edged. And that was mainly the reason for that trade. I only used the confluences of an SMT on the higher time frame, and then I used the fact that there was this 4-hour gap below us that is something for price to retrace into. And also we do have this big massive leg that we do need to go up from. And honestly, you're probably wondering, why wasn't I bullish? I was to an extent. If we look on the daily time frame, we can see that we had this big daily gap. This was the top of the gap, and I'm gonna go back to the 1 minute, and I could have expected to see just straight longs, rippage all the way up to there, and honestly I wouldn't have wanted to be involved just because there's no targets to the upside. It is all just gonna be this imbalanced zone, so anything could really happen. We could have price come up and then we can have a bunch of chop making it look like we're gonna go higher, but then no, we get a sell model, boom. That I did not want to be a part of. So I was basically saying, I get my bullish entry. I want to get it down to the 4-hour gap because this should be the catalyst in my eyes to drive price even higher. Even though if we look at ES, we can see that I already took the liquidity and already came and balanced the market. I still wanted to see NQ do the same thing. And now it looks like we're just wanting to push much higher, which is honestly fine. Yeah, people could have taken longs from there. If I didn't take a position, then I would have honestly wanted to see a deeper retrace into the 4-hour and then take some longs, but both things valid on both sides. Alpha Futures is currently doing 40% off all accounts if you want to go grab some accounts there, and that was the platform that I took this trade on. As you can see, the executions, we went for our sell, and then we got stopped out, and then we went for our sell. I did scale in once we did come back up a little bit because I was undersized. But then around that break-even point, decided to put in my actual size. Some people may have called me crazy because you see that I'm about to go this much into drawdown, but I'm scaling in. It's because I believe in my idea. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope I see you in the next one. I have some interesting videos coming up because it's time to start telling you guys my story. But other than that, I will see you in the next trade recap.